It's a ferry service that's been plagued by cancellations. In fact, it's the most frequently cancelled of all AT's ferry services. A 50-minute trip from Gulf Harbour to the city, and almost 40% of all trips last year were canned. Commuters didn't think it could get much worse.
We've had a lot of tears over the past year trying to get into work, so some of us have just pulled back to be able to actually get some work done and not be in the boss's bad books.
There's permanent cancellations. The 545 and the 645 ferries have been permanent bus replacements for months now. But as an example, I went to get the ferry the other evening, and a couple of minutes before we meant to leave, it got cancelled, and that ferry, I was told, went to replace the Waiheke service. So again, it just shows that the Gulf Harbour service has been the bottom of the priorities as far as AT are concerned.
Watch your step, please.
But losing it altogether would be worse. AT's about to open up for feedback on a plan to remove the service from 2028, when it estimates the Penlink Road will open. The Penlink toll road will connect Whangaparāoa to State Highway 1. At the moment, it can take 2 hours to drive from Gulf Harbour to Britomart in peak traffic. Passengers say the new route, which bypasses Silverdale, may reduce travel time slightly, but it's still no match for the ferry.
With the Penlink, it's great. It's going to cut travel time by about 20 minutes, but then with the traffic, you don't know how you're going to get to the city. Are you going to get to the city on time? At least with the ferry, you know the only traffic you're going to get is the dolphins.
A lot of people can work while they're on the ferry as well, and it's a bit awkward to do it from the bus.
So what would it mean if this just got removed altogether there?
I think we would move out of the area.
Albany Ward councillors say they were blindsided by AT's proposal to remove the service. That's despite Councillor John Watson also being the chair of the Transport Committee with oversight of AT.
This was like a bolt out of the blue, so along with my fellow councillor, this is the first time we've heard of it, so not even a mention of it. Everything we'd heard up to this point went to investment that's occurring here, looking to improve the service after the unreliability of the last few years.
Councillor Wayne Walker says without the ferry, a lot of infrastructure will be going to waste.
We've got a park and ride over there at the Hammerhead that's cost millions of dollars to provide. We've got berth space here that is available. There's a huge sunk investment in those things, but also the huge sunk investment, which is effectively the saving of the costs to the roading network if you'd have to apply any alternative.
Catching wind of AT's plans last week, Army Bay resident Michelle Amapu started a petition to save the ferry.
I want to get at least 10,000 people signing the petition, and I also want to raise that awareness that if it can be our ferry that is discontinued, it could be any other ferry.
As of this afternoon, she's accumulated almost 3,000 signatures and hundreds of messages of support. Auckland Transport Service Network Development Manager Pete Moth says improvements to Whangaparāoa's bus network mean the ferry may end up being a duplication of services. He says it's currently AT's most expensive and carbon-intensive ferry route. The organisation will be seeking feedback on their public transport plan from Monday.